And our top focus at this hour is from India, where Kenyan President William Ruto is in New Delhi for a 3-day state visit.
Well, his visit, the first by a Kenyan president in years, brings to focus deepening ties between India and African nations.
Well, President Ruto was received at Delhi's Palam Technical Airport by Union Minister Bhagwant Khubba and Arindam Bagchi, the official spokesperson for the Ministry of External Affairs India. The Kenyan president is expected to participate in a business and an investment event during his visit to India.
Following his arrival, the Kenyan president met with External Affairs Minister of India, S. Jaishankar. Dr. Jaishankar later tweeted on his meeting with President Ruto, emphasizing on the Kenyan leader's perspectives on the global south and his insights to deepen bilateral ties between both the nations.
The Kenyan president also took to Twitter, hailing India and Kenya's deep historical ties, and also lauded both the nations' strong partnership in various sectors, to name some: health, agriculture and the IT sector.
Ruto also met with the managing director of the India Exim Bank, Ms. Harsha Bangari, along with other business leaders.
Well, the Kenyan president will be accorded a ceremonial welcome at the Rashtrapati Bhavan in the morning later today, following by a wreath-laying ceremony at Rajpath. Ruto will also hold detailed talks with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at noon today.
During his stay in Delhi, President Ruto is expected to meet his Indian counterpart, President Draupadi Murmu, who is also scheduled to host a state banquet in the Kenyan president's honor. Now,
Ruto's visit is the first presidential visit from Kenya in over 6 years and comes in the wake of the African Union's permanent membership with the G20. This following a letter from the Indian Prime Minister to the G20 earlier in July, proposing the African Union, the inclusion of African Union into the bloc.
All right, for more on this, we are now being joined live by our correspondent, principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, a presidential visit, of course, of this kind has not happened in years. Now, African Union was included into the G20 bloc. India's role in the global south has definitely been it has been recognized all through the global south. What do we make of this visit going forward in the two nations and also India's ties with the African Union at large?
Well, this is the second visit of an African leader to New Delhi in past 2 months. We saw the Tanzanian president visiting India in the month of October. But essentially, during this visit, the focus will be on development ties. India, of course, has been playing an important role in terms of iTech scholarships and also how both countries can work together with focus on reforms at the UNSC. Now, as you pointed out, when it comes to India's G20 presidency, African Union became a permanent member of the grouping. And this is something that the Kenyan president has spoken about during his visit to Dubai for the climate summit. But essentially, during this visit, we can see focus on areas like usage of national currencies for trade and, of course, how both countries can work together in the entire Indian Ocean region as well. But essentially, when it comes to key outcomes, we will get to know only after both leaders, the Indian Prime Minister and the Kenyan President, hold talks. They are expected to hold talks at around 12 noon local time.
Right, Siddhant, will we also expect a greater integration of India with Kenya and other African Union nations?
Well, yes, of course, this has been part of the Indian government's policies. We have seen how there has been opening of direct air connectivity between India and many places in the African continent, and also the needs of the African countries as well. Now, India has been emphasizing in the past that how, as compared to other countries, India has been focusing on development partnership with the focus of what the local government require, unlike other countries, that of course means China. But essentially, India has been helping build mega infrastructure projects in Africa and of course capacity building. Remember, India this year opened its first foreign campus of IIT in Tanzania. That shows that how India is helping in the educational capacity building of people of Africa.
Thanks, Siddhant, for joining in with all your updates and insights on this. Of course, we're tracking everything very closely. That was Siddhant Sibal, our principal diplomatic correspondent, getting you all the updates and what to expect.